that it connects here. Good evening and welcome to the first ever YouTube live edition of the QB Huddle podcast. Welcome in. I'm Tim Smith and I'm joined, as always, by my podcast partner, Brandon Newey. We are live to talk all things quarterback, Mr. Newey. We're going to send this live stream out if you just give me a moment so the Facebook listeners know where we are at too. Brandon, before we get started, how was your Christmas, bro?
Say that again, sir.
I said, how was your Christmas?
Man, it was beautiful, man. It was good because Roman's getting at that stage now where he's starting to really understand Christmas and understanding things. Like he's a big Grinch fan. He loves the Grinch, but he got his first toolbox, right? Got some cool shoes. He got a great laptop from his Auntie G and Uncle Tim. So we appreciate that, brother. Yeah, he's ready to learn. He said, Daddy, I got to go to work. I got to go to work like you. I was like, that's right. Lock in, son. Lock in. But we had a great time with the family and the in-laws. We go to Oklahoma City tomorrow. So shout out to our fans. I will be in Oklahoma City live tomorrow as we go on the Couch Coach. And we have a special guest, former NFL Pro Bowler, Aqib Talib, will be joining us on the segment. And I think this will be a very good opportunity for some good conversation, man. But Christmas was awesome. Unfortunately, it was a little bit bummer on the back end for us, right? I mean, you had a good Christmas, right? You had a good Christmas, right?
I mean, my Christmas was fine. It was great. Actually, got to hang out with the wife. It's just the two of us with our dogs and our cat, and we have our little traditions. Obviously, the Cowboys game, not great.
I'm right there with you, brother. Heartbroken.
Kind of ruined Sunday for me. And then we had to go to dinner after that. I didn't really want to go. God, I was mad. I was so angry. And looking back at it, I kind of overreacted a little bit with my anger because I looked at the numbers today, and we'll talk about it.
Don't you always overreact though, even in golf?
Well, isn't that what we do? Hey, this isn't.
I mean, when you hit a double bogey, you feel like the sky is falling, and then you turn around and hit a par or a birdie. Like, stop playing.
Look, but this is what we do, right? We overreact.
It's such an up and down year. It's insane right now.
Of overreacting.
Sure.
Your 49ers. Absolutely crap the bed. I don't know if it was the 49ers per se.
I don't think it was.
Just Brock Purdy. What happened yesterday to the 49ers, man? Because I waited all day. I waited all day for Monday night. And then you shit the bed. What happened?
All right. Technically, it wasn't a big shit the bed. It is any given Sunday, right? But this wasn't just any team. This was the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in the NFL. They've been one of the best teams ever since I was a kid, right? With the Ray Lewis era, they just have that tough tenacity. That identity is just built into their franchise, and they understand it. I've never seen a shitty Baltimore team ever, right? They may win ugly, but they get it done. It was, 14-point deficit, 33-19. We could have closed it in with 7. It would have looked a little bit better. But I think right now those 4 turnovers, man, I'm pretty sure everybody is well aware like what I'm gonna say, and I'm riding with my boy, dog. I'm riding with him. Listen, it's football, guys. There was 2 tip passes. Unfortunate shit happens. DBs have the worst hands in the world. So when those tips happen, you're going to get Christmas gifts. Brock Purdy was giving Christmas gifts that day. He was very giving. So that first INT in the red zone, brother, you can't do that, right? You got a 2-shell zone. I know the middle of the field's open. You were just a second late, right? But to your defense, Debo wasn't looking. So we got to be alert of that. When Roquan Smith bails down on that, you've got to drive the ball, but why not take it underneath? Why not check and audible and run it with 6 in the box? You're in the red zone. The best way you beat Lamar is you keep his ass off the field. And we can't have that happen. Brock's going to learn from it. Listen, guys, he's a 23-year-old kid. It's his first full season. I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread, but I've tested to this. He is playing at a very high level. Now, you take away those three those 3 boo-boo balls, right? He's still completing 68% of his passes. I think we've all had a tip pass once in a while in our career where it's just like, shit. Oh no.
It seemed to me last night that, and I like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's a damn good quarterback.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
damn good. He ain't elite
he
yet.
doesn't get a lot of the
Nah.
credit he deserves because he doesn't play the position in a flashy manner per se.
Sure.
But what it looked to me was maybe he's starting to get a little bit more gutsy. He's starting to try to fit balls into places where he wasn't trying to fit balls in before. And if he's just a little bit off on the shoulder, it kind of it's a little bit harder to catch. That was my feeling last night. And by the way, this gets lost a lot, but Baltimore's defense is
They're
A1,
phenomenal.
and it gets lost a lot because all anybody wants to talk about when the Ravens win is Lamar Jackson, and I understand it, but their defense has been lights out all season.
Absolutely. Every
That's the
quarterback,
best defense you've played
yeah,
this year.
every quarterback has struggled with this team outside of Matt Stafford. Every quarterback. And that just attests to how good Matt Stafford is. Now,
He's very
going
good.
back to the 4 INTs, right? There's one that's tipped, right? It's unfortunate. I felt like Kyle was calling this game a little outside of his norm. I felt that whole first possession, we did not run the ball, not one time. And you
No.
got your real MVP in CMC. Run
Yeah.
that peel, man. It's 6 in the box. We're spreading them out. We're running some things. Let's not get too cute. Kyle is 0-39 when down by 10 points or more in going into a fourth quarter. So understand, we got outside of our identity.
Okay.
I don't think this is all on Brock because when you have 3 tip picks and a pick, like shit happens. In fact, since you guys want to call them just soft and trash and whatnot, and I'm not saying necessarily you, Tim, there
Game
is
manager.
how and it's fine. I love it, but I feel like he does change the games entirely. However, he did change the game for them motherfuckers to win. But
Sure.
career games with 4 INTs. Tom Brady's had 6 or more. Peyton Manning's had 6 or more. Dan Marino's had 2 or more. Drew Brees had 2. Montana has 2. Like, listen, am I putting him in that category? Hell no. Not yet. But I'm putting overall that this shit happens to good quarterbacks.
It
The elite
does.
of
It
the
does.
elite,
Romo
right?
threw 5 in the game once in Buffalo and still won the game.
I
But
mean,
he threw 5
yeah,
in one
but
game.
here's the
It
crazy
happened.
part. They say, "Oh, he got benched, this and that." Brock Purdy's coming off a back-to-back stinger injury, man. You got 2
He was
games
hurt.
left
He
in it.
didn't
He
get
was
benched.
hurt. Like
He was
let's
hurt.
not get it
You
twisted.
you
Brock,
could see the conversation between him and coach, and it was Brock
I'm
Purdy
protecting him.
understanding
Yeah,
this game is
we
out of
good.
reach.
We good.
You're hurt. Playoffs are coming up, man. Chill.
And I
Yeah,
love
he
to
didn't
see
get benched.
Sam Darnold come in, get some time. That gave me a little bit of confidence. He was a little bit inaccurate on some occasions, but we understand the system works with all you got to do is deliver the mail. Brock Purdy's delivered the mail better than anybody in the freaking NFL right now. And I will say that right now. It's unfortunate he shitted the bed on his night. He could have won the MVP, but hey, maybe it's not his destiny yet. He's a young pup. Let him grow from it. As long as his
Yeah.
teammates got his back, as long as he takes ownership of what's going on, which I love what he does in the press conference, phenomenal. The game really wasn't that far out of hand because to be honest, the 49ers had more passing yards. They had more rushing yards. They outgained Baltimore 429 to 343. Niners had 6.3 yards per play to Ravens 5.4. When Lamar was forced to throw the ball, it wasn't ideal. Even though I love
No.
Lamar, it didn't look like a super accurate day. But when you turn the
No.
ball over 5
It
times,
wasn't.
guys, I mean, you and I both know that's a recipe for disaster. You can't do that shit.
Can't do it.
I feel very confident going back. If we do happen to make the Super Bowl, I'm not going to throw that out there yet because it's one game at a time. As I've preached, I'm a realist
Right.
fan. Viewers, you guys who want to think I'm just cocky and talk all this noise, no, I give credit where credit's due. I even told you, Tim, Cowboys win the damn Super Bowl. I'll be the first to congratulate you.
He did say that, but I don't think a
I'm
lot of
just saying.
people
Now,
believe
listen, enough about my team because we shit the bed too. What
it.
about y'all? Y'all had
Oh
a good
goodness.
moment though.
I've heard enough about the 49ers. Look, it was bad. It looked bad. Watching the game, it felt at one point it felt like it was 2 hours in between the time that we threw past the CeeDee Lamb for a touchdown and then had another first down. And I don't know that it was a literal 2 hours, but that's what it felt like. The Dolphins defense really did their thing. Our defense did their thing. You hold Miami to 22 points in Miami, you've done a great job. I get that they gave up the last drive, and you wish that you would have been able to make a stop there. But we asked a lot of our defense on Sunday because our offense just wasn't performing, and that's not a slight on Dak. I don't think this was Dak's fault. I thought Dak played as good as he could, given the situations. We didn't run the ball particularly well, but this is where we lost the game. We were 33% on third down. We had compared to their 46%, we were sacked 4 times compared to Tua being sacked just the 1 time, and then we fumbled on the 1 yard line, which I thought changed the game. Tony Pollard
That was so early though.
not getting in. Tony Pollard not getting into the end zone just made us all remember that we wish Zeke was still on our team, because Pollard got bent over backwards like a rag doll, gets stopped at the 1 inch line. Then we try to hand off to the big fullback. And, there's a lot of question of, was it, obviously it was the exchange. Was the ball tried to be handed too high? Did he not grab the ball? Whatever the case was, we fumbled the 1 yard line. And that first drive was beautiful. We did whatever we wanted to them.
Right.
And then we just really never tasted that momentum again. And, I felt like we could have won the game. But what worries me more than anything is this. I lost all confidence in the fact that we could win a road playoff game. And I've lost that faith, and Baker Mayfield scares me. He scares me. And I'm
He
afraid that's where
scares
we're going to
you?
go. He does right now. He's playing fantastic. And I'm going to go over his numbers a little bit later on in the show, but Baker's playing great. The Buccaneers defense is playing well. And for some reason, when we get on the road, man, we just don't look like the Dallas Cowboys. It bothers me. It should bother me. It should bother all of you that are watching. And no, I'm going to say it again. It's not on Dak. This was not on Dak. I'm not blaming him. I have this Steve McNair jersey on because it was a
God, he's a stud. I wanted to buy that
my
off
wife,
you.
and he's
Can I buy that off
one
you?
of my favorite all-time quarterbacks. So I wanted to wear it. Right? I said I would. No, you cannot have it. You can order this from Fanatics. Actually, the show is also brought to
I want
you
the old
by
one.
Black Rifle Coffee. If you're watching Black Rifle Coffee, please send me a box of espresso with cream. It keeps me.
Hey, quick question. Quick. I know we live right now. I know we're live right now, but can you go into settings and turn it off for kids so people can comment?
I can try that.
I know we got Bernard on there. He's saying I'm making excuses. I ain't making no damn excuses. The fact of the matter is Lamar did his thing. If you don't see Lamar enough, he's going to torch you like every other team.
Okay. If you're watching currently, please go ahead and make comments.
Yeah, I want to see.
You'll be in charge of that. So if you see comments, please let us know.
I want to see.
We'll do our best to get to everybody, and I hope Bernard stays on because we're gonna have some good Lamar Jackson talk here in a little while.
Anyway, Bern loves Lamar.
Look,
I love him too.
Angry.
He's cold.
I was really angry on Sunday, Brandon. Not so angry today when I really dove into the numbers, but very, very nervous about playing on the road in the playoffs.
Y'all don't look good on grass, brother. Y'all don't look good on grass. It's a theme going on. Yes, it is. Y'all play shitty on grass, bro. Y'all play shitty on grass. Name me a game y'all have won on grass.
I don't know.
In a long time. Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Do we really care about the field surface?
I think it plays a role. I think you guys are. Yeah, we gotta be. We cover the NFL. Now think about this. Okay. Dallas is not very good on the road. A lot of their losses, like some of their losses, Arizona, grass, 49ers, grass, Miami, grass. Bills had turf. Right?
Yeah, Bills turf.
Yeah, I get it. I think Bills is a different type of environment, bro. I think that's anybody.
Because of grass. We lost because we couldn't convert third downs. We couldn't run the football.
You guys didn't have a first down in like 2 quarters.
Now, what we did was wild. We really slowed their run game down, which made me feel good. And obviously, we bottled up Tyreek Hill. He had a couple catches. It's 22 points. I am happy with that. If you told me on Sunday morning that we were going to hold the Miami Dolphins to 22 points, I would say we were going to win the football game without question. So, hey, if you would, Brandon, please send out the live link to the AGA group, which is our golf group. They are looking for it currently. If you would take care of that because you're much better.
I got it, man. I'm on it, bro. I'm on it. I'm on it. We want our guys in here, man. Shout out to the AGA. Shout out to the AGA group, man. It's a bunch.
The AGA.
So we call it the Athletic Golf Association. It's a bunch of former athletes out there having a good camaraderie, brotherhood, going out and good fellowship, going out there playing golf.
That's
We've got
phenomenal.
some studs in that group, but majority of us are damn near
We
the
do.
same. But we do have
We
some
do. Yeah,
studs
we
in there.
do.
We
We
got
do
my
have some
boy,
stuff.
we got my boy Charlie, Mr.
Charlie.
Scientist. We got
Woo!
Kobe, which is Kobe
Kobe.
Williams, who is Cole. We got Mr. Brandon Harris. We got D Mac, which is the rookie
Deshaun.
of the
You can't leave.
year.
Yeah, we can't.
Cole.
We can't
Nah,
leave out
D
Deshaun.
Mac's the rookie of the year. He's the youngster
That
coming up
boy,
in the game.
that guy got good in a year. I've never seen
It
it.
was freaking
He
crazy,
went
right?
from hundreds to 80s in a year. So, hey guys, I tried to turn the chat on. If it's not on, I apologize. I have edited it,
He
but
said, "Welcome to
I
live
don't think.
chat.
Oh, yes, I did.
Remember to guard your privacy."
All
Oh,
right, there we
somebody's
go.
on. Somebody said, "Let's go." So I think that's my boy Preston, next door neighbor, was
There you go.
cracking.
So
Um,
let's move on into the show. Let's have some fun here. Hey guys, if you're watching, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the viewership and the love. Please comment. We're gonna go to the on fire segment. We don't have our graphics, pretty graphics that Mark Watson usually does for us, obviously because we are live. But I'll start with you, my friend Brandon. Who's on fire for you this week? Give
Man,
me
I'm
one.
gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna keep it in our division because I know you want to shout out to your guy, but I'm saying this dude right now is on a roll. He's on a tear. 10 TDs, no interceptions in the last 4 games. My man Matthew Stafford
Oh
killing,
boy, Matt Stafford. He's a
killing,
scary. They're scary going into
killing.
the playoffs,
They're
aren't they?
very
The
scary, and
Rams.
these are one of these teams, just like a Tampa Bay. Like people are overlooking them. He's one of these teams. They catch fire now. It's going to be some problems. And we see him the last game of the year. So that's going to determine if we get home field advantage or not because we shit the bed versus the Ravens. So we better get our mind right because this guy's on a roll. They actually had a really good game. They beat, golly, like it's pulling up right now. Why is my shit going crazy? Well, anyways, this guy here has been
Maybe the
balling.
without
This
traffic.
guy's been
So my
nice. Yeah, this guy has been lights out 30 versus 30 22 against the Saints. Saints defense is known to having a good squad. He is the only one that has actually played very well versus the Ravens this year. The only one, right?
yeah, they
Putting
great.
up 30
Put them
points.
to
He was
overtime.
24 of 34, 328, 3 TDs. This guy has 10 touchdowns, no picks in the last 4 games. He is on a hot streak. A lot of teams do not want to see the Rams. I think with them really
No,
getting a slow start, but building with Puka Nakua, they got an actual run game, which they have never had since Todd Gurley.
right.
When they had Todd Gurley, they did go to the
Throwback.
Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Now, are they a Super Bowl team? Probably not, but they're a team that's going to scare you. So shout out to Stafford and doing his thing in LA.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to stay in the NFC, and I've been with this guy since he came into the league and was drafted number 1 overall in Cleveland. People thought this was going to be a dumpster fire this year. I'm on record, and it's on video here on the QB Huddle and the Couch Coach. I believe in Baker Mayfield, and he is living up to that belief.
You
His
called it.
Bucks got the victory this weekend. Once again, they own their own
Yeah.
destiny. They're 8-7. Okay, that's not great, but new team defense wasn't doing great early on. They're doing good now. They look to be the 4th seed, and I think a very dangerous 4th seed. He was 26 for 35, 283, 2 touchdowns, 26-8 on the season, by the way. 26 touchdowns to just 8 interceptions,
It's damn good.
3,598 yards. For comparison, everybody in the world is calling for Lamar Jackson to be the MVP. Lamar Jackson has 19 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, only 3,300 yards. So I don't say that to slight Lamar. I say that to let y'all know Baker's balling. So if you think that
Baker's
Lamar is an
rolling.
MVP candidate, you can at least say that Baker's doing his thing. He's doing everything he can do.
I think he's a comeback player of the year.
Maybe because he went
deserves it.
through a shit show there in Cleveland,
He
and then
deserves
got
it.
sent off to Carolina and the Rams, which was the best thing that could have happened to him to get to play with McVay there for a little bit, I think. And he's looking like the guy that beat the Steelers to me with the Browns a couple years back. So Baker's balling, and I am here for it. Big Baker Mayfield fan. Who else you got?
Man, I'm gonna take it to the good old AFC North because these guys don't get a lot of
AFC.
love at this
All
moment.
right.
But have Steelers have a resurgence here by beating the Bengals 34-11. Mason freaking Rudolph,
Ooh.
guy who got hit in the head by Miles
Mason
Garrett for
Rudolph is
calling him
back.
a Mason Rudolph,
Wow.
17-27, 290. He ain't played in 3 years since he's got hit in the damn head, but came out 2 TDs, no picks. Kenny Pickett wishes. Now you need to just roll with them. They're 8-7, right? We they got to finish it off, man. They're sitting third in their division, but it's an opportunity. I felt Mason came in and did a good job, but you're seeing a lot of these QBs, these backup QBs, these insurance policies. They're on their third quarterback right now, right? So they have got to figure it out. Mitch Trubisky is who he is. He probably won't have a job next year. Kenny Pickett's
Probably
probably
not.
going to be out of a job in the
He'll
next
get
2
back up.
years, right? They may have to draft a quarterback. They may have to trade for a quarterback. But right now, the one thing that stands for a very long period of time has Mason Rudolph. Every time he comes in, he does a serviceable job. So I'm going to give him his flowers on there. You had a hot Bengals team coming in with a young other quarterback, and they completely whooped their ass. So kudos to them. Who else you got?
All right. I'm going to stay in the AFC North. Hey, Brandon, do me another favor while I talk about this next quarterback. Send a link to our JDH group if you would. I forgot to do that. To where we are currently, so
My
they
man
can
said
tune in.
Joe
Thanks again.
Flacco is comeback player of the year.
Okay.
Nard said that.
Speaking
I
of
can say I can see that.
Bernard said that.
Nard
Bernard
said
said
that.
that.
I can see
All
that.
right, then that rolls in perfectly to what I'm about to say next because Joe Flacco was on fire this week as well. Yes, he did throw 2 interceptions, but that's okay. Since he's got off the couch, he's played in 4 games. He's won 4
Joe been
games. He's
balling,
thrown
Nard.
for 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Again, he hasn't lost a game. The Browns sit at 10-5. They control their own destiny. Joe Flacco quietly becoming the best story in the NFL season of 2023, in my opinion. I love what Joe Flacco is doing. Who you got next?
My next one, man, and I'm gonna shout out to the young guns, man. I'm gonna shout out to the young guns, Jordan Love and Bryce Young. I'm gonna shout
Oh,
it
just
out
both of
because
them, huh?
I feel like,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like Bryce Young had his best game. Bryce Young had his best game. Jordan Love had a very serviceable game. The what I love about it is none of them turned the ball over, right? 17-28 from Jordan Love, 219, 2 TDs. It's not flashy, but it's good substance. It's good consistency. Your job is not to
Okay.
enamor with passing stats. Your job is to get your team in the end zone. Both teams put up 30 points. Bryce Young had statistically his best game. He was 23 of 36, 312, and 2 TDs, no turnovers. That's what I want to see, young man. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Die on your sword. If you're going to lose, lose like that. That's what I love to see.
Okay.
So shout out to him.
Okay.
Both of
Bernard, this is for you.
them.
Lamar Jackson. I'm going to give Lamar Jackson some love because they did win last night. They did beat the 49ers in San Francisco, which is tough to do. I would argue that the 4 interceptions by the defense was probably more impressive to me than Lamar's stat line. 23 for 35, 252, 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's good, right? That's good. That's where you need to be. Oh hum is what I would say. But that's where he's been all season. He did have 45 yards on the ground, but they didn't really hand the ball off to the running backs very much. I'm not sure why they got away from Edwards and Hill, who have been simply running through defenses this year. But they did a good job. Lamar did and he had one crazy run, right? He had 45 yards on the ground. I think
Shook the
30 of
shit
it
out of Fred Warner,
came,
boy.
yeah, it came
Broke
on
my
that
man's
one run.
ankles.
It was absolutely amazing. But to your point earlier, I mean, you look at this game inside the numbers, the Niners had more time of possession. They were more efficient on third down, 42 to 36%.
Yep.
Purdy had more passing yards at
Yep.
255 than Lamar did in the whole game before he was hurt. But those interceptions made the difference in the game, man. And
Killed
that's
it,
the one
man.
thing Lamar did
You
do
can't do that.
was protect the football. And so you protect the football on the road. You win a game that is billed as a possible Super Bowl preview. I think you have to be on fire for that. So congratulations to Lamar Jackson for doing his thing last night.
Listen, I'm gonna shout
You got
out
anybody
to
else?
Lamar because you really downplayed the shit out of Lamar right now. But Lamar is the
Hey,
scary.
put
Listen,
him in there.
Lamar's the scariest player in the NFL, and it ain't close. It's
He's
not
scary.
close because if you don't
Well,
see him enough, he's gonna kill you. You don't know how
it
to
depends.
defend him, right? The only thing I will say, like Nar was saying, he doesn't have to be this efficient. Yes, he does. Like let's he's a quarterback. Like let's
Like
cut the
some more.
BS, because if you look at some of his stat lines
Yeah.
the past 3 games, he's completed under 60% of his passes. However, when the game was on the line, he literally took the MVP. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think Lamar is extremely hard to
Don't
prepare
agree.
for. I have called this since day one. Have I not, viewers or Tim? Since we
Oh yeah, we
first started
disagree
this
on this
show,
vehemently.
since we
Yes,
first started this show, I said Lamar Jackson will win the MVP. And here's why.
and I think all the
So,
media writers have thought the same as you the whole season, which is why we keep this
and
very.
whoever said bang bang Niners are trash, I bet we beat the shit out of your team too. So,
Wow!
whoever's on that
Now
live
you've
chat,
made.
my brother, I bet we wiped the
Listen,
floor with y'all. I bet y'all couldn't even pick up your damn jock after you done. I bet you had
don't
to
make
go
women
about
mad.
nightmares and dreams and thoughts. Don't even worry about us, player. We're still in number 1 seed, my guy.
Yeah, you done lit a fire under Brandon Newey.
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna light a
man.
fire. I'm gonna light a bigger fire because we talked about who was on fire. Now we have to go right into the garbage juice. There's plenty of room in the garbage juice this week, and we got plenty of newcomers. I'm gonna throw Brock Purdy in there for his 4 interceptions, national TV at home. He might have just thrown the MVP to the Baltimore Ravens defense. He gave that shit away.
He tossed that motherfucker
And-
to him. He said, "Here you go."
listen, take the medicine, get in the film room.
You in that
stop
bitch.
throwing into those tight ass windows because while I like what you're doing, you don't have the strongest arm. You're not Josh Allen.
No.
Slow down, trying to do stuff that you're not capable of. I think the game maybe that's good for him. Maybe last night's game was a little big for him. Maybe it was a little much, and now he's like, oh, not so big. I threw for 255. If I don't throw 4 picks, we probably win the game. And maybe he's ready later on in the playoffs. But last night was not good, and it was disappointing.
This is good. This is good for him, and I'm gonna back you up on that. Purdy, get your ass in the goddamn garbage juice, brother. I love you, bro. I have nothing but love for you. We have not had a quarterback this damn good since Jeff Garcia. Maybe since Steve Young, efficient wise.
Steve Young last night.
Efficient wise. Jeff did his thing, but I've seen Jeff turn the ball over 7 times in a game. So I'm not hearing that. The thing about it with Brock Purdy is you're a 23-year-old kid. You're gonna learn from your mistakes. You have to, because this team is built to win now, and we only got a certain amount of time. We got maybe 3 or 4 years with this team. I think you're the guy. I'm never gonna be unwavered with that. But Purdy, damn it, you were sorry than a bitch last night. I'm just gonna call it what it is. So damn sorry. But, however, you can pick yourself back up, right?
It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit, and if you can get back up and keep pushing forward.
Now, I always said, man, an old ball coach once told me, adversity not only builds character, it reveals it. Yeah. And so, this is good for you, young buck. This is good for you to be in all this garbage juice. Soak up all this shit, right? Bask in this shit.
I'll give him credit.
He kept firing that bitch, and he was making some beautiful throws. However, we've got to. I feel like Kyle was trying to give him the MVP. That's not what he is right now. He relies on balance. He relies on balance, and that's okay as a quarterback. Damn it, I want to run game. I think statistically, even back in the day, I didn't play in the league, but one of my best statistical efficient years was with the 2016 Thunder, right?
Ooh,
Cold, I remember that team, bro. I had a great run game, had a good receiver. I just delivered the mail, man. That's all you have to do, and we won a championship. It wasn't about me.
You led the league in passing, and we led the league in rushing.
Yeah, but the thing,
the league. Country. We led the country that year.
But Kyle, get your bitch ass in there too. Kyle Shanahan, get your ass in the garbage juice.
Oh, you're putting Kyle.
Oh, I'm throwing his sorry ass in there too. I told you about Kyle, and I appreciate to my boy Jabir shouting out. And RC since Cap, you know damn well Brock Purdy is better than Cap. Let's stop the bullshit. Now, Kyle Shanahan.
That wasn't very good.
Kyle Shanahan.
Go ahead.
You have a problem with yourself. You get in your own way and you are very hard-headed. What kind of game plan was that? When have we ever done stuff like that? When have we ever run RPO fast screens to the short side of the field on a corner blitz? Come on, bro. You're putting Brock Purdy in situations he's not used to. You're not even running the ball. right? He gets out of his way. He is 0-39 when down by 10 points in the fourth quarter. So you know damn well if you know a guaranteed win, if you're up by 10, y'all are gonna win that game, right? He is yet to deliver a comeback. So for me, I feel like Kyle, you need to be in the garbage juice too, because as great as you are, your biggest weakness is your ego. And the best
Okay.
game you've ever called was the Philadelphia Eagles because you made in-game adjustments. You failed to make in-game adjustments when down only by 1 point. And you had the ball coming into the third quarter and you shit again. We can't do that, man. We can't have you doing that. Rely on your run game. Give Jordan Mason running the ball, right? Give Christian McCaffrey running the ball. We were averaging 5.6 yards a carry. Like, let's stop the nonsense. If we get rid of the BS, that's when Brock shines the best. Balance, baby. Balance. But you're in the garbage juice. Who's next?
Okay. Make room, 49ers, because we're going to go to the other side of the country in Florida. And we're going to grab Trevor Lawrence and we're going to throw him head first right into the garbage juice. I think he's been there before. He knows the address. He probably left some stuff there from the last time he was there, maybe a toothbrush, some deodorant. Lost to the Buccaneers in a game that you absolutely have to win in Jacksonville. 17 for 29, 211, one touchdown, two interceptions, and another lost fumble. He fumbled twice, by the way. He only lost one of them. He's got 19 turnovers on the season, 17 last year, 33% on third down. This guy's not a prince. He's a frog. Now he's got a sprained right shoulder. I mean, come on, bro. Trevor Lawrence, you're losing stock. Weekend.
T-Law is boo-boo, bro.
Yeah.
T-Law ain't that good, man.
No. I've never been a believer. Ever.
He don't shine in big games.
Talk about system quarterback. He was the ultimate system quarterback in college. How many screens did they throw?
About 85% of screens.
Come on, man. I've never been impressed with Trevor Lawrence, and he's showing it again. And losing to the Buccaneers at home in a game where you could seize your division and make that push to the playoffs, and you blew it. So got to throw him in there.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this on T-Law right now.
Ask.
T-Law's going to be up for a contract, right? And we know how all these crazy-ass quarterbacks outside of Lamar Jackson and probably Pat Mahomes, maybe Josh Allen and Joe Burrow too, they deserve the money. But it's getting a little out of hand. You going to give Trevor Lawrence $60 million guaranteed and over $200 million a year? Get out of here, man.
They will, because there's a good head coach quarterback relationship. They like Trevor Lawrence there. He's the best quarterback they've had since Mark Brunell. I think you have to keep him. You have to keep. Look, everyone can't be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Everybody can't be in that 1%. So if you have a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who is probably a B tier quarterback that can get you fighting for the playoffs each and every year and be sturdy for you, you got to pay the guy whatever that market is. Unfortunately,
God, man, like it just bothers me.
You can't let him go.
No. But with this whole, I have a crazy theory that I'm not going to talk about now, but I've sprinkled it a little bit with these quarterbacks, and I'll talk to you offline on it. But my man Nard says they better play Trevor Lawrence. Jabir says who else is out there? They don't pay Trevor Lawrence. Listen, man.
You guys are 1,000% correct.
Okay. I understand they may pay him, but look at how many quarterbacks that have stepped in and have played very well compared to Trevor Lawrence this year.
True, but Trevor is still, again, playing. He's still in the top 10 in quarterbacks, top 15 in quarterbacks.
He's top 20. He's at best.
I mean, if you look at quarterback stats right now, he's ranked higher than Lamar.
I mean, okay, but he damn it, y'all better stop comparing Lamar to Lamar. Lamar is one of one. There's nobody like Lamar on this planet. Nobody.
I don't agree with that. But
how?
Let's move on. Let's continue. We've talked about it. We're going to beat that to death. How about Tommy DeVito?
Hey, sit your ass on the bench.
Hey, my guy Tommy. Bro, your food, your pizza, it went down, right? The dough did not rise this weekend. The story may have ended. It was a lot of fun, but you went to Philly and you look like what Tommy DeVito should look like in the NFL. 9 of 16, 55 yards. I
Sure.
mean, I think you could do better than that, Brandon. Probably coming off the couch.
Hell no, I probably can
So,
point 2 passes and then leave right now.
3 for 2
Hey,
as a
you give me a
starter.
week, I'm gonna slice you up.
We had some fun moments, didn't we? We had some fun moments with Tommy DeVito. Really enjoyed the story. It was a lot of fun, but he still is at home, so getting benched isn't the worst thing. It's not going to hurt his social status. He still plays for the New York Giants, and he may have earned himself a shot to compete for the backup quarterback role next year. But it was good to see Tyrod Taylor get in the game, and Tyrod did his thing. And God, Dayball said he made the move to spark the team. It seemed to spark a little bit. Tyrod made some plays. I think Tyrod should start the rest of the year, and we should go ahead and let Tommy ride off into the sunset. But it was a fun story. It was a fun story.
Do you keep him as a serviceable quarterback though? I would.
I mean,
Insurance policy.
I have him coming into camp next year.
Yeah, insurance policy for sure. I mean, to be honest, the way Tyrod Taylor's been injured and out, I feel like Tommy DeVito may be a little bit more serviceable right now at this stage in his career than Tyrod Taylor. I love Tyrod. I think he's a great backup quarterback. I would love to see him as a starter, but unfortunately, you just get hurt a lot, bro, for your expense. It's unfortunate. My guy right now, for all you Chiefs fans, is Patrick freaking Mahomes. My man.
You're being rough on Patty.
Nah, I got to get Pat. Hey, live in that shit. Hey, bask in it, damn it. Because if everybody gonna throw you on a pedestal like myself, you got to perform when players aren't around you. Understand? If you're going to be good, you're as only good as the players around you. As amazing as Pat Mahomes is, I've said this. I do not like my quarterbacks watching Pat Mahomes. Just like I never liked them watching Brett Favre. They're reckless, right? But they get away with a lot of shit. And it's cool if it works. But when it doesn't work, it looks absolutely pathetic. My man has got, right now, he had a 31.6 QBR rating. As bad as you may think that is, took 4 sacks, 61% completion, 235. Oh, he doesn't have weapons. Well, damn, even every quarterback's supposed to have weapons to be great. So arguably the most talented quarterback of all time right now, he's depleted of a little bit of weapons, and you see he looks very mediocre, correct? So you're only good as the players that surround you. Remember that, quarterbacks.
That's true.
Remember that. Remember that.
For all quarterbacks.
Remember that. I may not have played in NFL, but damn it, I had some ballers around me. It ain't on me. Hell, they were just really cool, and it's cool to throw the ball, and they make plays, and I got the best seat in the house. That's how I looked at it. That is exactly how I looked at the game. And I feel like Pat Mahomes for right now, I don't like his demeanor. I think he's very emotional. He's being very light-skinned right now. I'm a hybrid, so it's different. I'm just saying, but he's very emotional with things. He's almost playing like a basketball player, looking to get calls. He even runs and scrambles like he's not expected to get hit. My man has got 5 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in the past 4 games. Brother, wake up. Wake up. We're only as good as you are, right? We go as you go. And right now, you are very mid right now. You've got 14 turnovers. Figure it out. Figure it out. Right?
I got one more.
All right.
I got one more guy. I think you went off on Patty a little hard.
No, I'm not. No, because the expectation is so high. So I expect it to be here.
A little tough on
bro, Patty. You've lost 5 out of 8 games. What you mean? I'm going to call it.
It's been bad. How about this guy? I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I'm going to say Sam Howell from Washington. He was 6 for 22 for 56 yards and 2 interceptions. If I have to describe why he's taken up residence in the garbage juice, then, that's just silly. You're not paying attention. 6 of 22, 56 yards, 2 interceptions. That was Sam Howell's day before.
Damn, Sam.
So that's all I have for garbage juice. I'm going to leave the rest alone. There were some other mediocre play, but man, these were the worst of the worst. Unless you got one more.
Yeah. Before we get off this, damn it, Nick Mullins, 4 interceptions. Purdy ain't just gonna be in the garbage juice, my man. Your ass is in there too, brother. And to attest to what I like Nick. I think he's slinging it, man. But I just feel bad. I feel bad for old EXO right now, man. Diehard Vikings fan. Only Vikings fan I've ever met in my freaking life.
Really?
Really,
Well,
I've never met a
I know
Minnesota
quite a
Vikings
few.
fan.
Okay.
But man, that was a tough
Well,
day. He did throw 2 TDs, four INTs though. Man, he's a little bit reckless. He had an opportunity to have a Brady moment, and he missed it. But we're gonna go into the live chat just a little bit to just kind of answer some of our viewers.
oh, we got some questions.
Right
Let's go.
now,
Let's
man,
talk. What you got?
somebody said, "Well, Cap went to the Super Bowl." Hmm.
That team was loaded.
That team was loaded. That team had a Hall of Famer in Frank Gore. That team had Vernon Davis.
Randy
That team
Moss,
had a great O line. That
Michael
team had
Crabtree,
that team had a
shutdown
great
defense.
defense, a number one defense. That
Tim
defense is
Harbaugh was
10
the head
times.
coach.
Yeah, that defense is 10 times better than what we're representing right now. So stop the BS. Cap was good, but Cap was very limited. You couldn't ask Cap to throw the ball 25 times a game, bro. You couldn't.
No.
So let's not ever compare him to Brock Purdy. Let's not ever compare him. If you guys in the chat, if you want to sit down and come with me and watch film and being able to disguise and learn how to throw with anticipation, Cap never did that. The best thing he had was a seam throw in a cover 3 and a cover 2 hole shot. That is it. That is it. He had great zone read, but he never reflected on his mechanics. He never got better.
My guy fired up.
I'm just telling you right now. I'm just saying. So I think in one of our guys shouted at Aiden O'Connell. Now, how is Aiden O'Connell balling when he was 9 of 21 for 62 yards, Bernard? How?
Uh-oh. But because the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
Okay. I think they did it with the run game. I think they did it with the run game with freaking White running for 25. Zamir Wright running for 25 yards and 145 yards on the ground. Next.
There's some criteria to be on fire.
Right. But hey, somebody did say Eric Bieniemy is missed in the Chiefs kingdom. I told you that. I told you.
I wonder because we know. I mean, look, Andy Reid is the final be all say all when it comes to this offense. We know that. We also know that Andy Reid had lots of success before Eric Bieniemy. We also know that Eric Bieniemy and the Washington team is absolutely terrible. So I don't know. Maybe true. Maybe his personality, the way he coached, maybe whatever he did within that offense meant a lot, and maybe that is the missing piece. I think
it might be.
They lead the league in drop balls. I think that's a piece. I think Travis Kelce is beat up. He doesn't look like Travis Kelce at all, and they still can't get a run game going, which to me is the biggest piece of it.
Now, Bernard said he wanted to throw him in the garbage juice. Aiden O'Connell.
Oh, he wants to throw him in a garbage juice.
And then Bernard
garbage juice wins.
I mean, he was trash though. But my man Renard, shout out to my man Renard, he said KC could have used D-Hop. I 1,000% agree with that.
Yes.
Or Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Go get Kyle Pitts.
Why didn't they grab Hopkins? That was the question I think everybody was asking at the beginning of the season. So we've talked about a bunch of guys that we all know. And we like to bring up some guys that maybe you don't know as well. They're guys that are playing in backup roles. And this is called Who Surprised Us This Weekend. Brandon, you got anybody that just jumped off the page and surprised
Bailey freaking Zappi.
Bailey Zappi. He continues.
He is on a 2-game winning streak, and he went into hostile territory and got it done. He got it done. The kid continues to impress me. Is he the future of New England? I don't know, but I feel like he brings that Tom Brady fire. I feel like he plays with passion. I feel like he cares. Okay. I feel like he might have listened to the podcast when I said someone needs to grab this position by the balls and run with it.
Are you listening to our podcast?
Maybe he has, because ever since I called him out, he's been balling. I mean, so we got to give him his credit. I'm gonna give you credit.
Listen. All right.
Understand. I could have brought Brock Purdy's here last night and said, "Hey man, slow this shit down. All right. Check to your run if you got 6 in the box. Other than that, do your thing."
Somebody needs to whisper, maybe lick his earlobe a little bit. Somebody needs to settle him down. I'm going to take us out to the Chargers. Even though they lost to the Bills, you didn't expect the Chargers to even compete in this game. And Easton Stick surprised me. He made some big third down throws, 23 for 33, 215, no touchdowns, but he didn't turn the ball over at all. And he kept the Chargers in a game in which it took Josh Allen a Brady moment to win the game. And so for me, Easton Stick was a pleasant surprise out in LA for the Chargers.
Okay.
Anybody else for you?
I got another one, man. Joe Flacco. Damn it. What are you doing?
That's a
You got,
surprise.
yeah, it is because my man rolled
He's
off the
doing it.
couch with his kids watching
Yeah.
Coco Melon and Bluey and rose up to the occasion and has stepped in and has won every game ever since.
Okay. I mean,
And
yeah,
yeah, he's got
I
10.
love what he's doing.
I love what he's doing. I mean, he threw for 368, 3 TDs. Yes, he's going to turn the ball over. It's going to happen. But Joe Flacco's a gunslinger. But I feel this team is so freaking dangerous going into the AFC because Joe Flacco has been on a team very similar to this his entire career. So he understands the dynamic and the purpose of what he needs to do to execute in a timely fashion.
We're going to get into that a little bit more when we
God,
talk
I
about
mean,
the
it's
playoff
just,
scenario.
I mean, it's a feel good story. You love to see Joe Flacco get off the couch and come back because I felt they kind of pushed him out the door with Lamar, unfortunately. Although Lamar is Lamar, right? I mean, I get it, but for him to come back and do the things that he's doing right now and resurging Amari Cooper's career. I mean, Amari Cooper, brother, had 11 receptions, 265, and 2 touchdowns. When has that ever happened in Dallas? Never. So you should have never let his ass go. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah, probably right.
Okay.
I know I'm right. So
Okay.
now,
You're right.
yeah, Flacco
How about
surprised me, man. These boys are balling.
okay? Okay. I've had him on fire for a couple of weeks now, but how about Taylor led the Falcons to a surprise win over Minshew Magic and the Colts, where he went 23 for 33, 229, and a touchdown. Right? Those
Yeah.
are right up there with what Mr. MVP did last night. So no interceptions. The Falcons are still alive.
That was shots fired, gentlemen.
Shots fired. Boom, boom. The Falcons are barely hanging on, but I thought that's a good performance. Tyler Heineke stepping in and getting a big win for the Falcons. That really surprised me that he was able to do that.
Another guy I'm surprised about, and this is just coming from it's a good place. Jared Goff. How efficient was that guy? 75% against one of the best, as one of the stingiest defenses in the league. I know they're 7-8, the Minnesota Vikings, right? He went into hostile territory. It's a divisional playoff. They clinched their first divisional title since 1993. Kudos. And I'm just saying, I'm not trying to call myself Nostradamus right now, but I did predict that the Detroit Lions were going to win this division on Couch Coach. Did I not? Week 1.
I don't remember.
Week 1, I have film. Go look it back. Check the tape. Check the tape. Check the tape. So subscribers and viewers, damn it, I know what's going on around this thing. I called it. I saw it. Now, I didn't see Purdy throwing 4 picks, but I saw that happening.
Who did? How about Trevor Siemian for the Jets? Jets, Jets. 27 for 49, 217, and a touchdown. Anytime you can beat the Commanders, I love it. So good job, Trevor Siemian. Good job, Jets. All they're doing is kind of waiting for A-Rod to come back. Obviously, he's not going to play this year. That's good.
It's over with. Yep.
But he'll be able to play next year. Zach Wilson's probably on his way out. And there you go. Do you have anybody else, or are we going to the Brady moments? Do you have anybody else?
We're gonna go to Brady moments. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Brady moment. You go first because I know you got a good one, and then I've got one, and then we'll get into the second half of our show, which is about to get really interesting.
Yeah.
We talk about hot topics and playoff structure and what we think is going to happen. And so go ahead, man. Who is your QB that pulled off the Brady moment?
I got Geno Smith, man. Damn it. I got Geno. 14 plays, 74-yard drive, under 2 minutes left. Ice in his veins. He's had a beat up shoulder and an elbow this year. I'm shocked that he actually started, especially after how good Drew Lock played the past 2 games. But he came in and he drove him down and put him into situations that really capitalized on their opportunities. He threw a game winner for a touchdown to Parkinson. And the extra point was good, brother. And now,
the extra point.
Hey, some of these dudes been shanking. We saw like 8 missed field goals on extra points this game, right? Yeah. Or this week. So
this weekend,
I feel like Geno, man, he's just got a lot of grit. He just never dies. He never lays down. I can respect that. And most people say, "Oh, Geno's Geno." Like, nah, bro, Geno's a good quarterback, and it's he's been on our Brady moment a few times.
Yep.
So he's known
Yep.
for leading comebacks. If you give him the
Yep.
ball enough times, he's gonna make it happen. So shout out to my man.
Shout out to
I
Gino.
can't stand your damn team, but I like you.
I'm going to go all the way to the other side of the country, and I'm going to focus in Buffalo with Josh Allen, man, because he had a Brady moment. And for those of you that may not watch the show all the time, the Brady moment, you have to remember watching Brady at the end of the game or the end of a half, where he would go down and get his team in position to
Right.
win the game. And that's exactly what Josh Allen did. A 14 play, 64-yard drive that took up 4 minutes and 58 seconds that ended in a winning field goal attempt, which was made. And man, he was excellent on that drive. They handed the ball off a little bit, but he really did a lot of it with his arm. He didn't turn the ball over in the red zone, which has been a plight for him all season. So coming off a game where you dominate the Dallas Cowboys, then you travel cross country over Christmas holiday to play the Chargers, who keep it close. I thought that was a great job for him at the end of the fourth quarter, and really going to probably build some momentum for the Bills going into the playoffs. So that's going to take us to halftime. And Brandon, you already kind of talked about it, but you and I do a show with XO every week. Talk about the couch coach a little bit.
Yeah, man, the Couch Coach is a really good show. If you guys lock in, it's dropping on Fridays, um, every morning. We got a lot of good banter, man. We've had some great guests. We've had some fandom. We've had some NFL guys come out. We got to keep Talib coming out tomorrow night to shoot the show. Should be really good. A key play for the Broncos. He was a Super Bowl champ for the Broncos. He was also multiple time Pro Bowler, former first round pick. He's got a lot of insight. He had his own podcast. He was, a former announcer of Thursday Night Football. I think he's going to give a great insight to what we're doing. But it's just a lot of banter. We're a bunch of guys that love it. I know Stefan likes to call us idiots, but damn it, we've been calling our shot and the shit's been hitting. So
Yeah.
I'm far from removed from an idiot stuff, XO. But it's good to have banter, man. It's good to have banter. And yes, man, we're sitting on the couch, we're talking shit, right? But at the end of the day, man, I feel like everybody has passion for the game. We would love to see some other guests come on. Yes, we have some NFL guests. We've got some good playoff guests coming through. But also, man, I would definitely love to see a more diversity and variety of different guests to give different insights, because everybody, regardless of gender or race, everybody's very passionate about this game. And so what we like to bring to the table is bring different people from different, realms of the world to come in together and just have a good, conversation and discussion, and just really talk a bunch of good shit. And you understand, if you come on this show, you better have your facts right, because all we do is look at this all the time.
It's true.
So we have a passion for it. We love it. Check us out on the Couch Coach. XO's been doing a phenomenal job of hosting, even though his Vikings are taking a huge punch in the face. But
in the face.
it's okay. Maybe next year, maybe you can plan your trip for Cabo and come back and we can talk about the off season. But we're going to have a lot of stuff. This just isn't just a 17-week season. This is a year-long podcast. And so we're going to have a lot of different elements to the podcast when it comes to the college football, when it comes to the NFL draft. We're going to have a lot of insight, a lot of good conversations to give you guys. So please like, share, and subscribe on the Couch Coach as well as the QB Huddle, because we're giving you two different podcasts for great value. But also stay on this live chat. We're going to go live tomorrow at 8 o'clock. From my understanding, we're going 8 o'clock live. I'm just calling it, Stefan. If you can go 9, you can go 9. But I think we're going to go 8. I think Akib's ready for 8 and set for 8. And we'll have some good conversation, man. So stay tuned to that.
There you go. You'll find us tomorrow night on YouTube at the Couch Coach Club at 8 o'clock live tomorrow night. So let's go into hot topics, and some of this stuff we've kind of talked about already, so we can kind of breeze through a lot of it as we get to our playoff picture and predictions, which is going to be, I think, one of my favorite segments tonight. But hot topics. You talked about this a few minutes ago. The Chiefs have lost 4 out of 6. Why, and are they done?
No, I don't think they're done, because I think Pat Mahomes can do some amazing things. However, I feel like Andy Reid needs to pull him back. And I think I said this last year. The best thing that ever happened to Pat Mahomes last year was getting his ankle injured. And I say
Kept
that
him in the
because
pocket.
it kept him in the pocket, allowed him to make quick decisions, get rid of the ball. You got to understand as a receiver and an offensive lineman, that is extremely hard when you buy so much time. It creates holding calls, separation, could run out of bounds, could run into trying to get off another guy, create offensive pass interference. He just needs to get back to what he's doing. I don't think they're done, but I think they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. They don't have enough team. They don't have enough juice,
Yeah, no,
and,
I
and I
don't think
think
they're going to make
Baltimore
it
may
either.
run all over them, all over them.
I think there's a lot of teams right now that I'm
Yeah, I
looking
think
at
the
in the
Bills can
playoff
beat
hunt that
them.
could beat the Chiefs.
I think the
The
Browns can beat
Browns,
them.
the Colts, maybe on a good day.
Maybe on a
Uh,
good day. It
the
doesn't look good,
Dolphins.
man.
No, they're a mess. They're a mess.
They
They're going to
they
win their division because the West is pretty weak, but
yeah. I'm. It's
it's
unfortunate
not
right
good.
now that the Chargers didn't not catch fire. None of those teams have really grabbed that next level, but the Chiefs have lost to the Broncos and the Raiders, so they split. And they've only beat the Chargers back to back games. However, I just don't see them going far, but I would not be shocked because it is Pat Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. But just like him, like any other quarterback, sometimes you got to pull him back. You got to pull him
Yeah,
back from
that's true.
himself, right?
That's
And
true.
you've got to harp in on the little things. So hopefully Andy Reid and him get back to the little things that matter, and they can make a run and get hot because I feel like the AFC is still up for grabs outside of Baltimore. Um, I still think they can have an opportunity because Baltimore has showed that they struggle versus the run. They showed that.
Yeah,
And if they can get a run
I mean, I
game,
know Baltimore's going to probably be the number one seed, but I don't know that they're a scary number one seed to me. I mean, their defense is
I think they
excellent,
are at home.
but I see some teams that I think can beat them. And I think first and foremost is that Browns team with a hot Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah.
I
100% can
think
see the
the
Browns
the
beating them.
Bills, the Dolphins. Anyway, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I don't think the Chiefs are done either.
No.
What's wrong with them? I don't know. I can't. I'm not in the room. I'm not in the building, so it's hard to for us to say what's wrong with them. Maybe they are missing Bieniemy. I don't think Nagy's a great coach, but he was there when they had success before. And like I said, I think that it all starts and ends with Andy Reid anyway, offensively. So I don't know
Well,
what's
isn't
wrong with
Matt
them, but
Nagy
they
calling
have to figure
plays?
it out. If he is, it's everything's still okayed by Andy at the end of the
I
day.
understand that, but I think even like Renard
He might be
says,
the
one
one
of our
calling
hosts,
plays.
he said Eric is cut from that old school cloth. You absolutely right, brother. I think they
Yeah,
need that kick in the ass. They're not as good as they think they are. They've gotten
doesn't seem to be a
away with
lot of
so much
accountability.
BS for years,
Yeah,
and I can't stand it. And I'm
Nagy's
actually
soft.
laughing because you guys suck right now. You need to figure it
Nagy's
out.
Nagy's soft.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about this just briefly. There's been this year, maybe more than most, there's been some pretty poor quarterback play. We're not seeing the gaudy numbers, the 50 touchdowns, by a quarterback, 5,000 yards. We're seeing more interceptions than ever. Why do you think that is, Brandon?
I think it's the speed of the game. I think this interior is insane now. This interior can run like just as fast as running backs and receivers. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's not an exaggeration. That's not an
defenses have
exaggeration.
become more complex for
They
sure.
become more complex. There's a lot of man coverage, which creates a lot of more tight windows. You see a lot of man coverage lately in the NFL, and I mean, yes, over time it has been, but you're seeing a lot of it. Less blitzing, dropping eight. I think they're forced into tight windows. There's been a lot of back quarterback play. I think there's over right now, 9 guys that have double digit interceptions this year.
Yeah,
And
at
there's
least.
been multiple 4 interception games. There's been multiple 3 interception games. I just think the game is played at a different speed. I think the defensive line is so far ahead of the O line that you can't run counters anymore. You can't run speed option anymore. You're barely getting away with zone reads now because these guys can change direction so fast. And
Yeah.
so I think that's really been a detriment. But also you're getting a lot of poor quarterback play because there's a lot of quarterbacks that have been going down. I think
I was going
due
to say that.
to the ability not to have explosive movement days in their training, I think trainers will take that because you've got to think when you're playing at a pace that it's that fast, you don't train with the same intensity. and you need to, because you need to develop that callus on your body. And I think we're seeing a lot of injuries that are causing, you're getting guys who are stepping in who are serviceable, but they don't have that quick clock, man. And I feel like right now at this day and age, the game is changing. You have got to be dynamic, not only in the passing game, but as also as a runner. And I think
Yeah.
that's why we're seeing a lot of guys struggle.
Well, Tom Brady mentioned it earlier in the season, and I think I've been saying this for a couple of years. Is the college schemes nowadays, outside of maybe what you see in the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, they're not really getting quarterbacks to play at the NFL level. They're not getting them ready for that. And so you get, you're in Ohio State, for example, and outside of when you play Michigan, you play, very basic defenses. You don't play against the best athletes in college every single week. So then you get to the NFL and it's completely different, right?
Yeah.
And you have to set your own protections, and you have to, look at leverage of the DBs and the safeties, and is the blitz coming? Is it not coming? And there's a lot of things you have to be aware of. And these
It's a
young
lot of
kids, just
gimmick.
a lot of them aren't ready. It's a lot of gimmicks, and they're not
It's a
ready.
lot of gimmick.
And so you said it. A lot of these veterans are going down, and the younger quarterbacks are coming in, and it just doesn't look great.
It
And
doesn't
of
look
course, they
good.
don't get a lot of reps during the
Yeah.
week. So
But I will say, not to knock
Cowboys,
these guys. Go ahead. But
yeah.
before that,
No,
not
no.
to
What were
knock
you
these
gonna say?
guys. I feel like these backup quarterbacks are coming in and showing that they can do just as much as $100 million quarterback, not named Pat Mahomes, Lamar
Now,
Jackson.
some of that's been
A
true.
few
Yeah.
that is very true. And I feel like my theory, when I put this out there, I think it's going to start to change. And I don't think you're going to start to see these guys get paid too much.
Mm,
You're going to start to see that
okay.
shit
I hope so.
backtrack. You're going to start to see some of these veterans that have been pretty good, but haven't been to that level yet. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to get pay cuts. How much you want to bet?
Oh yeah, everyone's
They're
going
going
to
to take
need.
pay cuts, bro.
Everyone's going to have to take pay
You're going
cuts.
to have
Now
to
they
take
are
pay
raising
cuts.
the salary. They
Yeah.
are raising the salary cap, but yet
You're
and
only as
still,
good
they
as the
should be
people
getting up
around
there
you.
now.
And we've seen that right now. Look at what Pat Mahomes is doing. Mid,
Yeah, I mean, look what the Chargers are. The Chargers I saw over
mid.
the weekend are $42 million over the cap going into
Jesus.
next season. So,
Jesus.
and they just paid Justin Herbert all that money. So how are they going to
Right.
build a team around him? We don't know. So the Cowboys lose again on the road. And I'll address this first. Is this future telling for the playoffs? Is the question that we're asking. And unfortunately, I have to say it is. And I feel that I didn't feel confident when I woke up Sunday morning that we were going to win the game. I felt like I was nervous. I was scared. I wanted to see a fun game, great game. And as the game went on, and when we went down 2 scores, I had no hope, because much like your 49ers, I don't feel like we play good from behind
We're built
on
that.
this
Yeah,
side.
you guys are built that
We're
same
not
way.
really built to do that. When we
Yep.
don't get turnovers, and this has been true all season. When we don't get turnovers, we lose, right? When we don't get explosive plays on special teams, we tend to lose,
Mm.
and we don't play good on the road. And so if we're going to catch the Buccaneers at the 4th seed and have to go to Tampa Bay and play a very hot Baker Mayfield, and I don't know, we should be able to win the game, right? But I don't feel any confidence because we haven't proven that we can go outside of Dallas, out of the DFW area, and beat anybody that's worth anything on the road. So
Well,
I feel like it is future telling. I feel like that loss tells us who we are. What
well,
do
I
you think?
think. Well, I do feel you'll beat the Bucks. Let's not kid ourselves.
I hope so. I'm nervous.
I feel like you guys are still an explosive team. I just feel like sometimes you play down to the level of other teams, and that hurts you outside of home. I mean, you're 7-0 versus home versus 3-5 on the road, and you have to find a fine balance. You have got to find a freaking run game, bro.
We got to find a run game.
I've been telling you that since week 1. I said your
I
running
didn't
back
want to get
scare
rid of
me,
Zeke.
dog. Your running back scare me, and I feel like
Yeah.
you miss Zeke Elliott right now. So, Cowboy fans,
So bad.
if your ass is watching right now, you need to go talk to Zeke right now and get him back next year. You need to get him back next year. He's on a 1-year deal. He looks damn good. He looks good. So let's
Hurdling
stop.
people.
Yeah, let's
Come on,
stop
man.
the BS. Let's go back and get your boy. Make a run. But I think right now with Pollard and some of the other guys, we still haven't even seen the young guy from Kansas State do anything. Deuce Vaughn. Where's he at?
No, we haven't.
We haven't seen Tony Pollard in the 6 wideout. Like, why isn't he being used like Christian McCaffrey? That is his skill set to a degree. He is very much like
he's
that.
no Christian McCaffrey, but yes, I get
Now
what you're
he
saying.
as RC asked, Renard asked, is Leonard Fournette still a free agent? I thought he was with
No,
Buffalo.
Leonard Fournette plays for the Buffalo
So
Bills,
where has he
and
been?
he had a few carries this weekend.
Okay,
I
so
saw
he's
it.
getting in the
This might
offense.
have been his first or second week that he was dressed. He did have some carries this weekend, and
Okay.
look for him to be a big part of their red zone offense in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think
so
that's what
I
we're
think
talking
him and Cook rolling, man. But outside of Dallas, man, to take to your question, man, I think you guys will be fine. I do think you might get your ass whooped this week. I do think that because if you can't stop the run, brother, you got two running backs that are coming in that are damn near on the verge of at the 1,000 yards apiece.
We stopped the run this weekend. We're going to be fine because we're in Dallas and we play different in Dallas. And the
Yeah, you
Lions
do.
have
You
been
7-0.
bipolar all season long.
They do.
The Lions don't play well away from Detroit,
I
so
mean,
I'm
you
not
might be
scared
able
of
to score
Detroit.
some points finally for a change because
Yeah,
they
that would
give
be
up
nice.
points.
We haven't done shit
But the
on
Lions are
offense in
tough,
2
man.
weeks.
They've already secured their divisional spot. Um,
That's right. So
I think you
they
guys will
really
be
don't
all
have a
right,
whole
man.
lot to play
It's all
for.
about where you land. If you go to Tampa, if you go to Detroit, up in Detroit, you're going to beat them. You go to Santa Clara, we gonna mop that ass and keep it moving.
All
But
right. Hold on.
I want your best when you come to us. I want your
I want our
best.
best too. So as we look at the playoff picture, and like I said, we are going to predict the road to the Super Bowl here in just a few minutes. So we're going to go through all this, but give me one team, Brandon, one team in the NFC, one team in the AFC that could be that sneaky team that could make a surprise run.
I'm gonna say Detroit. As
Okay.
crazy as it sounds.
Okay.
Damn it, I don't know what it is. It's something about that coach, man. It's something like they die on the shield for him, man. And it's something
Okay.
about the energy of a coach who brings that resurgence, just like how a Jim Harbaugh brought that resurgence to the Niner after we've been trashed for like 5-6 years. It's like they're ready to die on that shield for that man. And I feel like Detroit in the
He's a great
NFC
coach.
is definitely a sleeper.
Okay.
I know there's other options out there, but I'm gonna go for the
All right.
AFC. I'm gonna go to Cleveland Browns.
I'm with you.
I don't know what it is.
I'm
It's like
scared to death of
Flacco
Cleveland.
magic. I'm scared. If we play
Yeah.
Cleveland in the Super Bowl, I'm like, damn it, I'm nervous.
I would
Wouldn't that
love,
be a
hey, as a
crazy
guy
ending?
I've been
Fucking
watching football
Cleveland.
watching the NFL for 45 some odd years, and I've never seen the Cleveland
Somebody's
Browns in the Super
frozen.
Bowl. So that would be awesome. We're
Somebody's
okay. I think
frozen.
we're not frozen anymore. We're good.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
go back to what you were
so
saying.
I'm with you in the AFC. I got the
Hell
Browns
yeah, I
as my
told you so.
surprise team. I do believe the Browns are going to shock everybody, and I think that they're going to make a really strong run. In the NFC, I got two sleeper teams, and I can only pick one. And I just think that this team has a better receiver core and has a coach that's been there and a quarterback that's been there, and that's the Rams.
Oh
The
boy.
Rams.
Yep.
The Rams
They're
scare me with
scary.
Matthew Stafford.
They're scary
Right
right
now,
now.
Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup and a run game. And
They got a run
defense.
game.
Aaron Donald still plays for the Rams, ladies and gentlemen.
Kyron Williams is second in rushing right now.
Yeah, the Rams are scary.
The NFC West wasn't that weak of a division now, was it, gentlemen?
Guess not.
No.
MVP. The season's winding down. Now, I've caught a lot of flack on social media today because everybody wants to crown Lamar Jackson because the Ravens are winning. But when I look at the stats, bro, he's mid-tier in every quarterback stat. He's ranked 15th, right? There's other quarterbacks that have more touchdowns than him, more yards than him, 15 of them actually. And so when I look at that, and we talk about MVP, I get he brings the run game and the electricity, but the Ravens won 3 out of 5 games at the end of the year last year with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. They almost beat the Bengals in the playoffs. So the notion that the Ravens aren't a good team without Lamar Jackson is silly. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They have one of the best run games in the league. Yes, Lamar's part of that. I've never been enamored with that as far as my quarterback goes. So I've got Christian McCaffrey as my MVP because I don't think the 49ers could do anything offensively without him. I think he's the engine of that team. And so to me, it's Christian McCaffrey, but we know it's going to be a quarterback award. But who do you have?
The engine of that team is Trent Williams.
No. Okay.
And Debo.
Christian McCaffrey.
All right, look, man, Christian definitely deserves the MVP, but if you were to define the MVP, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Who can you live without? Who is the
Mm-hmm.
team that comes in and elevates your team to greater heights despite some of your deficiencies?
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson is the pure example of an MVP. And I'll tell you why, Tim. Because why you may not be enamored by his statistics, why you may not be enamored by his touchdowns right now, you can compare his MVP season to this season. Yes, the numbers are down, but at the end of the day, this man has lost his number one running back, his number two running back, his number one offensive tackle, his number one offensive center, his number one offensive guard.
Okay.
He's got a rookie receiver. He's got a beat up ass Odell Beckham on his last ride.
He doesn't
And
have a lot of good
OBJ,
receivers,
yeah,
I'll give you
right.
that.
But I'm just saying, hear me out. Hear me out. That dude is still getting it done at a high level.
I get you.
What? That is the prime example of an MVP.
You would be shocked, I think, if I told you the quarterbacks that have more passing yards and more passing touchdowns.
It's not a
than
stat
Lamar Jackson
award.
right now.
It's not a
I
stat
think that-
award.
well, let's be fair. I hate the MVP because the MVP is the dumbest award in football.
I don't
It's
think
voted
so.
out by sports writers. Most of them have never even played the game of football.
Half of them
and
don't
they
know
only
shit.
they only vote for quarterbacks. So it's dumb. If this is voted on by the players, like the top 100, and they voted on the MVP, I would give that some credit.
All right.
But this is a media award. Media's been on Lamar Jackson since he didn't get paid last year. Everybody wanted him to get paid. He got paid. That's great. Great story. Everybody wants him to be the MVP. I mean, I don't know. If
Tim, let me ask you this.
To Lamar Jackson because of the way he runs the ball, then let's give it to a running back, and that's Christian McCaffrey.
Tim, let me ask you this. Now, Charlie said MVP award or stat award. I feel it's a degree of both, but let me ask you this. You saw damn near so many good players on that field last night. So many good players on that field, right? Probably 10 Pro Bowlers, you would say, on that field at the same time. It wasn't close to who was the best player on the field. It wasn't close. It wasn't close. It's freaking Lamar. Stop the BS. It's Lamar. If you told me right now, I had to pick a
one play. He made one big play.
And he shook the shit out of the whole team. He made a lot of plays, Tim.
No, I mean, but he made that one play. Other than that, it was pretty average what he was doing. It was pretty. I mean, you're a franchise quarterback. You're doing what a franchise quarterback is supposed to do. He had the one wow play with the 30-yard scramble. That was awesome. Listen, and don't take this the wrong way. I'm a Lamar fan. Part of this is me saying that the MVP doesn't have to be a quarterback award.
I agree.
That's part of my argument.
But listen,
the other part is, and we talked about this with Mark Clayton, MC, who played for the Ravens, was the number one pick for the Ravens. And he and I kind of agreed on this back about 8 weeks ago was, if you're going to be MVP, I need to see more out of you in the passing game. I just do.
I get it. I get it.
That's my preference.
I get it.
If my quarterback's going to be MVP, then I don't want you to have to depend on your legs to be great.
Then let me ask you.
I feel like in passing, he's average. Athleticism and leadership and winning, he's amazing.
He wins 82% of his games, Tim. 82%. He's 20-1 against NFC teams. You know the only NFC guy that beat him? Daniel freaking Jones. And he may not even have a job next year. Now, Bernard said those other QBs with better numbers than Lamar are all throwing to all pro and Pro Bowl receivers. I have to agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly go ahead. Go through the list. Go through the list. I'm ready.
Derek Carr.
Why would you say no? Why would you say
through the list of quarterbacks that have more yards and more touchdowns?
Because they throw the ball more. They throw the ball more.
Okay, but they're not throwing to all pros like what was just stated. Derek Carr, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield has one.
Baker Mayfield has two. Baker Mayfield has two. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, both multiple-time Pro Bowlers. No, they haven't. They were just removed 3 years ago from a Super Bowl. Tim, stop the cap.
That was Brady. Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, that was Brady. God damn.
Listen, we just shit on Trevor Lawrence for like an hour. He has better numbers than Lamar Jackson.
Because he throws more.
Okay. What? Because you don't trust Lamar to throw that much.
That's BS. He doesn't have to because he has the number one rushing game.
let me ask you a question. Is Lamar as good of a passer as, I'm just going to throw some names out there. Is he a good of a passer as Justin Herbert, Tua, Brock, Jared, Patrick, Matthew? Is he a good of passer as any of those quarterbacks?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
He's
And I tell you why. He's one of the best against the blitz since he's been in the league, and he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the pocket, Tim. He is. He is.
Like I'm a Lamar hater.
It's not a Lamar hater, Tim. I think what you're getting off focus is you're enamored by stat lines. You're enamored. You're enamored. If the guy doesn't, I understand that. But if a guy doesn't throw, if a guy doesn't throw 40 yards or 40 times, 300 and something yards, multiple touchdowns, he's not good. Lamar is fantastic at what he does, and he's the best at what he does.
He's great at what he does.
It's different.
Is if Lamar Jackson couldn't run like he does, we would think he was a below average quarterback, because that's where his numbers land from a passing perspective. Listen, he doesn't pinpoint the ball like some mentioned. He doesn't throw the back shoulder fades as good as some of those guys. He's not as accurate downfield as some of those guys. He's excellent against the blitz because he has a quick release and he's not dumb, right? He knows where to go with the ball. I like Lamar Jackson for everybody in the back. I'm a fan. I don't think the MVP needs to go to a quarterback. Is really my big
this year, probably not. But I will say, if the definition of an MVP who you can't really make it to a big run without, it's freaking Lamar Jackson, man. Okay, and it ain't close.
What about
Josh Allen has accounted for over 40 total TDs. He does.
You can't win without him.
Yes, but he leads the league in turnovers too, bro. So stop the BS. You can't win the MVP and lead the league in turnovers. Next.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
All right.
And with Calvin Ridley and with Trevor Lawrence, Bernard stated Calvin Ridley was a Pro Bowler and Christian Kirk was a Pro Bowler.
How long ago was Christian Kirk a Pro Bowler?
Like last year.
I don't know about that.
I'm serious.
We'll have to look into that.
I'm telling you, Christian Kirk had one of his best statistical years last year. What are you talking about?
A great season. He's not a good of a passer. Some of your top. He's not an elite passer.
Yes, he is. He's a good enough passer. You don't think so?
He's not.
So you mean to tell me right now that you think there's 10 other QBs that can throw the ball better than Lamar Jackson?
At least.
Ooh.
But they're not better quarterbacks than Lamar Jackson. Don't get it twisted. They're not better football players than Lamar Jackson. But there's some quarterbacks on this list that I would trust the ball. I would trust to throw 40 times, and Lamar's not one of them.
So Bernard said no other quarterback would have won that game in Levi last night, but I have to say Burrow did. Burrow whooped our ass. Burrow whooped our ass. That's not true,
Bernard. Any quarterback is going to win a game on the road when the defense pulls off 4 turnovers.
Five turnovers. Not 4, but 5. We laid in the egg, baby.
Unless Lamar played defense last night, and I don't remember seeing him on defense. I don't think he intercepted any of those passes or recovered the fumble. So let's not just say no quarterback would have won that game last night. That is a ridiculous statement. Let's move on to the playoff picture. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be one of my favorites. Do you want to start? Do you want to go with the NFC and tell me what the road is, or do you want me to go? Because I got it right here.
Hey, you go ahead and do your thing, and I'll backtrap off you, brother.
All right, let's go. Right now, if the season ended today, the 49ers at 1, Lions at 2, Eagles at 3, Cowboys the Buccaneers at 4, Cowboys 5, Rams would be 6, Seahawks would be 7. I kind of think this is kind of where it's going to land. If it lands like this, that puts the Seahawks to play the Lions. I think the Lions win that game in Detroit. The Rams would go to the Eagles. What if I told you that the Rams beat the Philadelphia Eagles in that game? The Cowboys go to the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers beat the Dallas Cowboys in that
game. This is why the Cowboys fans can't stand your ass. Where's your loyalty?
It's not about loyalty.
Didn't you just whoop their ass with Tom Brady last year on the road in Tampa with the same damn team?
Yeah. I want to say the Cowboys are going to win. It's tough. All right. Listen, I'll play along. Cowboys beat the Buccaneers. All right? We'll play along. But the Rams have now beaten the Eagles because the Eagles look like trash. We know this. The Rams look better than the Eagles. So let's say the Eagles win. That leaves the 49ers playing the Rams the next week.
We're going to whoop their ass, bro. Stop.
And that would leave the
Stop.
Dallas Cowboys traveling to Detroit to
Y'all
play
will
the
win that
Lions.
game.
Well, we play them this weekend. I'll tell you after this weekend whether or not I don't
Well,
think
you're
we're
at
going to
home,
win.
so you have an
Listen,
opportunity.
no. We would have to travel to Detroit. Detroit's number 2 seed. So we're
You
not going
can
to
win
win
in
2.
Detroit.
We're listen, the Cowboys aren't going to win 2 road playoff games. Let's be
Damn.
realistic.
All right. Well,
So that's going to lead me to the Lions playing the 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
mopped. Next.
The Lions will surprise the San Francisco 49ers and end up in Vegas.
You're nuts. You need to go. You need to go freaking check. You need to go to the doctor right now because there ain't no damn way.
Yep.
No way that the Lions are going to be in Vegas. I will bet you right now.
That Lions defense is real.
The Lions defense is one of the worst defenses in the league. Points per average. Stop the bulls. Damn it, Tim. See, I told you better come with your damn facts. And you didn't bring your facts.
Well, first of all, none of these are facts. These are projections, number one.
You said that
Number
Lions
2,
defense is real? That Lions defense that gives over 27 points a game? That defense is real?
They're going to be real when they need to be.
That Lions team that allows 400 yards a game total offense.
What I saw last night from Brock Purdy, I don't trust the 49ers right now. I give the Lions a win.
See, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So you're not trusting 3 tip passes that happen to be picked.
I mean, I let you beat the Rams. You can't get upset because I took you out the playoffs. You can't get upset.
Listen, dude. Come
on.
I'll be honest. If we're getting the number 1 seed, there ain't no way we're freaking losing any game. And I'll call it the fandom, whatever you want. Whatever you want. The only team I am nervous about right now that really kind of sets me in motion here is the Dallas Cowboys, because I know how good Dak Prescott can be when he's on, and I know how good your defense can be when they're on. That is the only team that makes me a little bit concerned, but we'll probably still kick the shit out of you. But right now, go ahead.
No, I just wanted you to cut to the chase. And who are you going to play in the NFC title game?
I think we're going to play the Cowboys. I still think 49ers Cowboys here. I don't see really Philly, although Philly could make a run, right? I did predict Philly and 49ers. But man, I don't know right now with Philly. I don't know. I feel like you guys have more of an identity than Philly does. I feel like Philly's still trying to find their identity. And I feel like you guys at least have an identity like, hey, let Dak throw the ball 45 times a game.
Yeah, that's our new identity.
That's your new identity. Roll with it. But I think with Brock Purdy, we got to dial him back a little bit. We got to get more of the run game. We got to compliment him a little bit more. Those 3 tip picks don't determine his outcome. Let's stop the BS. I've seen Peyton Manning throw 7 picks in a game. Okay. 7. Okay. 7.
You're all in. 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, we're in.
All right,
we got to go.
AFC? Who are you going to play for the AFC? Break it down for me.
Well, right now, you got Baltimore, who's going to win. They got Miami next week. They're going to win it. They're going to win that game. I see right now that Miami's going to have to play Buffalo. Or excuse me, Miami as of right now is going to have to play Indianapolis. I think they get that done. I think Kansas City is going to have to play the Bills on the road, and the Buffalo Bills will beat Kansas City. First round exit.
That won't be on the road, my friend. That will be in Kansas City.
I think the Bills are going to win that still. Okay. I see Jacksonville versus Cleveland at this moment. I see Cleveland beating the shit out of them. That's going to have to take it to Baltimore versus Cleveland again.
Correct.
And then you got to play Miami versus the Chiefs.
No, that's not what would happen.
Actually, what would happen?
Because the Ravens are number 1. So if the Bills indeed do beat the Chiefs, like you said, the Bills being the 6th seed, they would travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens, and the Dolphins would then host the 5 seed Cleveland Browns.
Dolphins are going to lose.
Agree.
So what does that make it now? Now it's Baltimore versus Kansas. Now it's Baltimore versus Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
Yeah, Baltimore is going to win that game in Baltimore, and then it's going to be
Okay.
It is going to be Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns, and the Baltimore Ravens will squeeze it out by 3 points with Justin Tuck, 56-yard field goal. Count it. I'm throwing my chips in,
All right. I've
and it's
got a
going to be
different
a
scenario.
rematch.
I've got a fun scenario. I've got everything that you said in the front end. Okay. But when the Dolphins, they're going to get Cleveland. Cleveland's going to beat the Dolphins. The Ravens are going to get the Bills, and the Bills are going to get it done because the Ravens haven't proven to me that they can win a playoff game. The Bills are going to get it done. And then that's going to mean that the Browns at the 5th seed will then host the 6th seed Buffalo Bills in the AFC title game in Cleveland.
And Buffalo
And
gets it done.
Buffalo's going to get it done.
Oh
Again.
my God.
And the
No.
Buffalo Bills will play the Detroit Lions
Tim,
in Las Vegas.
what have you been on?
Put my chips in.
What
Just
have
saying.
you been on,
Just
bro? If you call this, you're a Nostradamus. This is going to be the most boring Super Bowl of all time.
Bills Lions would be a great game, bro. It'd be like 70 points scored in that game. Come on. That'd be a great game.
I think the Bills beat their ass if they play them.
That'd be a great game. I'd love to see the
I'm not
Bills win
sold
the
on
Super Bowl.
Buffalo's defense, man, but I'm sold on that run game for Detroit.
I feel comfortable with my AFC pick, my NFC pick. I feel like I'm a little bit
So
out
after
on a
you
limb.
saw Brock Purdy throw 3 tip picks, now you're wavering. What a
No, I just
ridiculous
don't
fan.
listen. I really don't want the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
We're not
So I
losing,
have
bro.
to find a way to get you guys out
We're
of the
not
Super
losing,
Bowl.
bro.
And the way to do that is for the Detroit Lions
ain't losing,
to
bro.
roar your asses to death.
Yeah,
And
we
that's
ain't
what's
gonna
about to
roar.
happen.
They're gonna get their shit kicked in. That's all that is. They're gonna be
Oh, God.
turn into a
All right,
little
well, you heard it here.
lioness.
Put this down. We're going to put this on TikTok. Brandon, your Super Bowl prediction is?
49ers versus the Ravens.
Okay. And who wins?
49ers.
Final score.
24-20.
Okay. And I've got the Bills meeting up with the Detroit Lions. And the Bills beating the Lions 45-37.
Jesus.
Crazy game.
That shit only happens in Madden, bro.
Oh, that's going to be the best game ever. Can't wait for it. Speaking of what we can't wait for, we got some games coming up next week. We're getting to the end of the season. It was kind of hard for me to pick up some matchups that I liked. I got Dak versus Goff here in Dallas. That's a huge game Saturday night if the Cowboys get back on track. What's a matchup you're looking forward to?
I see Tua versus Lamar. I think this is a huge game. I think there's 3 MVPs that are still out there with Tua, Tyreek, and Lamar. So Lamar has got to have a phenomenal game to put it away. And I think he does. Another one I'm looking forward to right now. I'm definitely looking forward to Kyler Murray versus Jalen Hurts. 2 of the former OU quarterbacks. I think they're going to do well.
Sleepy game.
I would say a sleepy game. I think it may be a little bit more exciting.
How about Minshew versus O'Connell? Raiders Colts with the Colts fighting.
Man, ain't nobody worried about that damn game. Click, turn it off.
Game. That's a playoff game for the Colts.
It is. It feels like there's been a lot of playoff games because of the AFC, how jumbled it is. It's playoff football already.
How about this? Jake Browning taking on Patrick Mahomes in the Kansas City.
Ooh, are you going to upset him, Jake Browning?
Upset weekend.
If the Kansas City Chiefs lose again, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
Check this out. If the Kansas City Chiefs lose and the Raiders were to win, they would then have the same record.
Are they going to win the division?
Oh, by the way, the Broncos can also do the same thing if they win and the Chiefs lose. So the Broncos and the Raiders are right in this thing if Jake Browning can pull off the upset this weekend in Kansas City.
I'm also looking forward to Brock Purdy versus Sam Howell. How will you bounce back, young man? How will both of you bounce back after shitty games?
Well, we're going to see.
Adversity doesn't build character, gentlemen. It reveals it, and it's going to show us who exactly you are.
Brock Purdy wasn't benched. Sam Howell was. Will Sam Howell even play? That's the question.
Well, it's Jacoby Brissett, and I think Jacoby's pretty damn good. I think he's a very good serviceable quarterback. Yeah, he's 10 to 13. Yeah, he's 10 to 13. Good serviceable quarterback.
Good numbers.
I
would play with Jacoby.
We got to kick their teeth down their throat. We got to make a statement this game. We got to put up a 50-piece.
Oh, 50
You
piece.
put up a 50
All right.
piece, your narrative is about to change real quick, Tim, next week.
How about just don't turn the ball over? How about that?
Yeah, maybe that
Just
too.
throw to your team.
Yeah.
So let's wait. I understand, and I may have some misinformation, but are you or are you not playing in your fantasy football championship this weekend?
Yes, I did lose I did lose 2 conference finals. I did.
Oh,
It was
how many leagues
unfortunate.
are you in?
I'm in 5 and I
Oh,
lost
hedge your
4.
bets, I guess.
Yeah, I did. And I'm in a championship game. It's going to be great. I feel very confident about it. Although Jared Goff is my quarterback versus the Dallas Cowboy defense. And I'm kind of shitting on myself right now. So do
Yeah,
I
I
start
would.
Kyler?
You have a backup?
Yes. Do I start Kyler Murray versus the Philadelphia Eagles?
No. Nope. You're better off with golf because of
Okay.
like you say, if the Lions get the run game going, that play action game can be
He's
a
deadly.
mofo.
He's deadly.
Yeah.
I am in a championship. I did lose those 2 semis. Freaking Joe, love, big bro, you mofo. God, you broke
Uh,
my heart for 2 years in a row. Chris Wright broke my heart 2 years in a row. Both of you are poo. And I hope you lose. Nah, I don't hope you lose. I hope you win. Joe's got a
so
new
tell the
baby.
folks
Go get that
for the
money,
folks
bro.
that are for the folks that are playing in their league championships this week, who to start, who to stay away from.
Well, Stafford versus the Giants looks phenomenal, right? I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts versus the Cardinals. I think Baker versus the Saints. I think he had a really good game. I think Pat Mahomes turns the F up against the Bengals.
Be about
I
time.
think we see vintage Mahomes there. I definitely would say Josh Allen versus the Patriots. I say Lamar versus the Dolphins. Lamar has statistically some of his best games ever versus the Dolphins.
Okay.
Um, I'd say stay away from Tua right now. I'd say take Brock Purdy. If you got Brock Purdy on your list, this mofo's about to turn up. And then we're gonna talk about this next week.
If he plays, isn't
And I
that
and I
stinging
and I
kind of
say
lingering?
I don't know, bro. To be honest, I'd rather keep him
I
healthy in
wouldn't
the
play him.
playoffs.
I
Yeah, I may
wouldn't play him.
not, but I'd say start Dak Prescott versus Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions defense is garbage, bro. They're
But
not good. They are
Dak's
not
due for a
good,
big
bro.
game.
He's
Yeah,
due for a very big game. He's
he's due
7 and
for a
0 at
big
the
game.
crib. They average 40 points a game. Let him cook if you have Dak
By the way,
Prescott. And I'll drop the
Dak
mic
played
on
good
that.
this week.
Yes, he
Dak
did.
played good
He
this
almost
week.
made
He
it.
had
He
good
almost
numbers.
made it.
Yeah, he had good numbers. Well, that's going to do it, man. We appreciate everybody that tapped in tonight. Look
Absolutely.
for this moving forward. What do you think, Brandon?
We had
I
up to
like the
20
live feel.
people watching. I like
Yeah, I
that.
like the live feel.
Appreciate it.
Hey, you guys, like, subscribe, share, keep commenting. If you subscribe, you'll know when we go live again next week, which
Yep.
I think we'll keep it at the
I think we'll
same
do this every
bat
time.
time, same
It's fun.
bat channel. It makes life really easy for our podcast producer
Producer.
Marcus Watson, who will be getting out cuts for you guys to enjoy throughout the week. For my podcast partner Brandon Newey, I'm Tim Smith. It's been a pleasure. We'll see y'all next week here on the QB Huddle.
See you.